we had this conversation on Tuesday Night Main Event, and I know you've played a lot of this content, and I want to know what your perspective is on this because you had this Mario game came out the same day Spider-Man came out. Then you
Yeah.
had like earlier this year. What else come out? Technically, Hogwarts Legacy came out this year, right?
Hogwarts Legacy came out this year. Yeah,
It was this year.
it was early this year. Yeah.
So is that you had what Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate, which people game of the year. What do who do you think gets it? They're not going to give it to a platformer, right? I'm hearing good things about Mario, so maybe we can count that out. Who gets
it? I think they'll give it to Baldur's Gate 3, and it should go to Hogwarts, but because of their funniness with J.K. Rowling, they'll give it to Baldur's Gate 3 because you can fuck a homosexual bear,
and that's more up their speed.
That is way more up their back alleyway. Yes.
So Baldur's Gate 3 is what we're
who doesn't know really at the end of the day, you know.
Hey man.
When I go hiking, that's all I'm looking for.
So yeah, we got this has been, I guess, people are gonna say a big year. A lot of these games I hadn't even got around to play. And have you touched SpiderMan yet? At all?
No, I'm going nowhere near it.
You're going nowhere near. So he's going nowhere near that. I know.
No, thanks. I'm
Jeremy had played it. I watched Beardo play it. I took some exception. If you guys want to go watch my video recently, I took some exception to the handling of the Scream character there.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I have my perspective there. You guys can go check that out. But I don't know what the damn game of the year is going to be. Again, I don't see them giving it to a Mario of the world. So you got Tears of the Kingdom, you got Baldur's Gate, Hogwarts, Spider-Man 2 maybe will be there. I don't know. I mean, the reception's been very good. I mean, I guess. I mean, we were looking at Metacritic yesterday. It was okay. Actually pretty good. But I don't know if it's game of the year. Is it going to be game of the year? Is it one of those that has we'll see how it holds. I don't know how people are feeling about it. It's getting generally a positive reception as to be expected, but I don't know how people are feeling about it. Like, okay, yeah, this for sure is the best game that I played, or the best game that has been released this year, considering that it's up against the Baldur's Gates of the world and Tears of the Kingdom and all this other shit that has come out. So it's been very interesting. It's been an interesting year for gaming. I know a lot of people are, I guess, excited for this year. We were actually having a conversation yesterday about what it speaks to comparatively to like the 2007s and the 2008s, which you have very strong releases during those two years. But I don't know if we should go that far with it, but apparently there's a lot of games that people are out there enjoying.
Wow.
We'll
the
see.
Whole monetization aspect of gaming has changed dramatically since that time. And I mean, I'm looking forward to Alan Wake 2 on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. Fingers crossed for that one because I did really enjoy the first Alan Wake.
Yeah.
All I've seen from Spider-Man 2 is just. I think after COD, it's pretty much it after COD, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think of anything else. Maybe the chat will remind me. I don't think there's anything else that's dropping.
Not this year, no.
Not this year. That would be like, okay, yeah, it's going to be in a contention of something. But yeah, the whole Spider-Man 2 thing's been interesting. Yeah, it's been intriguing. Combat is the combat, right? I think that's going to be, for game players, probably a big seller. I've said this a million times. Spider-Man is if there is to be a superhero character that is the perfect video game character, right? I'd have to say it was him, because of just the sheer amount of shit that you can do with the character and how it works and translates to actual gameplay. It's probably him. So they already have that going for them, and Insomniac has developed a pretty solid, whoever maybe the sub company is, whoever it is, combat system is doing very well for that. Now you have the story element of it, which we're seeing some interesting things come out about it. Again, the stuff I take exception to, I don't know if other people are, maybe the handling of the Venom and the MJ situation and all that. I take more exception to, like I said, that type of stuff in Scream. But of course, you got this. People are going to talk about it, right? You got the side missions with, okay, this is pretty gay. You got maybe people playing as other characters that they don't want to play as, deaf girlfriends, and MJ. Again, it seemed to be one of the things that I think people really took exception to with the first game, and they said, you know what, we're gonna fucking do it again. I don't know why, but that's the direction that they wanted to go in. And then, of course, you have the again the element of I know it came out, was it yesterday? Some censorship, self censorship with Middle Eastern gay flags.
Yeah, but they'll ban you for creating a mod to do it in the West.
That's true. That's a good point.
So you tell me where the the absolute level of hypocrisy is amazing there. You create a mod that removes that kind of shit out the game, and they'll ban the mod. They'll ban the people who did it. They'll get rid of that. But when they want to sell a couple of copies in the Middle East, they'll get on their knees and they'll grovel and they'll denounce everything because Western gaming company.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You brought that up. I didn't even think about the fact that, yeah, it was SpiderMan, was it not?
It was, the pride flag. Yeah.
Yeah, it was SpiderMan with the whole, okay, you're changing things around, and it was a Nexus.
If you change the Nexus mods, if you change the pride flags to American flags, so it's not as if you were changing them to something
true.
Abusive or anything like that. I mean, some people's religion, some people's ideology, just some people's preference. Sick of that type of stuff anyway. But if you, the mod that changed the pride flags to American flags got banned off Nexus mods, just like any mod that was going to remove the pronoun aspect of Starfield would be banned from Nexus mods.
Yeah, Dan,
open up a store in Saudi Arabia. See how you get on.
Dan, asking the questions that need to be asked here. How do I get that Middle East version? Maybe that is a more tolerable version of the game. That is a good question.
Set your PlayStations to Riyadh, and then download the game. Hey presto!
There you go.
Oh my God, yeah, playing a regular game again. It's great.
There you go. So, but yeah, it was, like I said, my thing about games, comic book games, as well as, I mean, I'd say this is in movies as well. Look, I get it. It's a different medium, right? So there's going to be liberties that are going to be taken, right? It's just, I get it. And I try to be reasonable. I think some people think of me as unreasonable. And I say, hey, some of these changes I feel like to these characters are unnecessary. But I do try to be fair, believe it or not. And I think that these companies do themselves in, and I would love your perspective on this, definitely as a longtime customer, right? As, okay, the one thing that I'll give credit to manga and anime, the Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Is that you'll watch the anime. And let's say if this isn't the case, usually the fans have already revolted, right? They're mad, they're pissed. But generally speaking, it doesn't matter what the medium is. You're getting a version of the character that's recognizable, right? It's who that character is supposed to be. Whereas with a lot of the Western media, particularly in comic books, and I get it, it's been around for a while. I totally understand that, and the people are going to make that argument. But when you watch something, right, and it's a completely different character from, let's say, if you had any sort of interest, if you could get your whiteboard out and pinpoint, okay, you like this character, and then I could get a whiteboard and I could say, hey, okay, you want to start with, hey, number one. Yeah, I got to try to figure this out for you, right? I understand that, but I figured out, all right, pinpoint. You're going to start here with this character because you like this character in the movie. But then they read that book, right? Then they're like, who the fuck is this? Like, this is, whether they like it or dislike it. I mean, yeah, it could go maybe either way, but they're not getting a version of that character that's recognizable, right? It's usually somebody else.
I'm just trying to envisage that in my head. Let's just take a ridiculous situation. Let's just take Tim Drake, Robin, and then just make him gay. That would be ridiculous.
That'd be foul. Like
over 3 decades, 35 years, and you just do that. That would be stupid. That would just be absolute ridiculous.
That's true.
Thank God that would never happen.
Do such a thing, yeah.
Thank God.
Who would do such a thing? Who would do such a?
Oh, who would? A crazy man. That's who.
Oh my God! But seriously, like, you know, I don't know what the conversation is that's had when Marvel says, because it's licensing, right? It's like, hey, X company is going to do a video game, or X company is going to do whatever this adaptation is, and they're going to say, hey, I don't know if it's rules that they're giving them, and they're saying, hey, you want to use the characters, or if it's just a fucking free for all. If it's just say, okay, you give us the money or whatever percentage of sales, whatever, license the character, and here's the groups of characters that you can use. Do whatever the fuck you want. And to me, that's what I trend towards that. But then again, you know, you see kind of like for example, the push of Miles Morales. I've seen some pushback on that as far as a negative for some people. Is just, you know, is he necessary in the game? He is part of the plot, make no mistake. But like, is it one of those things where, you know, because you are playing a little over half as Peter, and then, you know, the other you're playing Miles, right? And some people are going to take exceptions to that. Maybe
I'll get the Last of Us 2 flashbacks now.
Yeah, I know, right? And then considering what happened towards the latter half of that, spoiler alert, it does look like they're trending towards that direction. So when I see something like that, then I'm like, okay, considering what's happened in the books, considering how much money they put in trying to back this character, then I lean towards, okay, well, that's coming from Marvel. But either way, I mean, maybe it's because of the Rippaverse that I've gotten, so I've just gained a new, even better kind of perspective about this type of stuff, where it's like, look, you're a business owner or you're a company, you got IPs or whatever you want to call them, these properties. If I am to have this character show up in some place that's outside of the comics, I would think that it's going to be demanded of my customer, from my customers, are demanding of me and the company to say, hey, give us what it is that we want and what it is that we expect. To me, it almost becomes like a slap of the face. If I'm like, all right, these guys have invested a lot of money in this in this stuff. Okay, cool. Here's the ISOM video game, and ISOM now is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And he's gay.
Well, ask Insomniac. They ain't got a fucking clue.
That's true. What's the difference? Dominican, Cuban,
fucking South American shit, isn't it? It's whatever.
Yeah, it's
just brown people.
Yes, it's the same shit, right? So what's the difference?
Even that, I love it. I just love it when shit like that happens. Love it.
They
give themselves away every time.
It's all the same shit. I wonder. I know they were going
China, Vietnam. Same
I wonder if that patch has already gone through. Who knows? But you know, maybe
if I was Nexus Mod, I'd ban them for that. I'd ban Insomniac.
Well, yeah, if you fix the flag, you probably get a fucking ban for it. That's for sure. But let them do that. Nonetheless, fucking company, man. Up next for the Rippaverse this fall is Alpha Core #1, written by one of the most prolific writers of all time, Chuck Dixon. Penciled by the legendary Joe Bennett. You're not going to want to miss this book. Visit Rippaverse.com to stay up to date and grab ISOM #1 to get caught up on the first appearance of Alpha Core.